PM signals, and we concluded that there are two important parameters that needs to be looked at, which is one of them is instantaneous phase or the instantaneous angle of the angle modulated wave, and instantaneous frequency of the angle modulated wave. And accordingly we expressed PM and FM wave in a mathematical way. So, and of course those two modulated waves are related with each other, and that we saw as a relation between FM and PM wave. And this is one of the important expression which relates the instantaneous frequency and instantaneous angle of the angle modulated wave, which you would be using in parts of the derivations which will be following in this particular unit. All right. Then also we saw in the last session about properties of angle modulated waves. We stressed upon the fact that FM wave is a non-linear function of the modulating wave, unlike your amplitude modulation. In fact, this property makes the spectral analysis of the FM wave, in the sense the frequency analysis of the FM wave, a much more difficult task than that of the corresponding AM waves. Okay, so non-linearity is one of the important property of angle modulated waves, which makes things a little difficult. Then of course we also saw that there is a one-to-one correspondence between the phase modulation and the frequency modulation. If you are given a phase modulator, you can generate an FM wave, and if you are given a frequency modulator in other way around, you can generate a phase modulated wave. So it is sufficient that if you can understand the concept of one of these two types of angle modulated waves, then the other is covered indirectly. Right, so we'll be solely concentrating much on the FM waves, and will not be specifically will not be talking anything about phase modulated waves. Okay, so today's session dedicated to spectral analysis of angle modulated waves, in particular to the FM waves. So how can the spectral analysis be calculated for FM waves? As I told, since it's a non-linear modulation, the spectral analysis will be little complicated than your angle modulated wave. We do this spectral analysis only to find the bandwidth of FM waves, because one of the properties, as we had listed in last session, one of the properties that was introduced in angle modulation is that there is a trade-off between bandwidth, the transmission bandwidth, and the noise performance. So of course FM signals, as you might have experienced in reality, the FM signals are much superior in its performances with respect to the quality compared to the angle modulated waves or AM radio stations. But of course they come with an enhanced transmission bandwidth. They consume more amount of bandwidth. So we'll try to look for that bandwidth aspect in the today's session, which will give you a clear idea about the frequency modulated wave. So before I begin with frequency analysis or the spectral analysis of FM waves, first we need to have consider what we'll be going to consider in this case. So first, the important criteria that we are going to assume here is, we are going to assume that it's a single tone modulation. So we are going to assume that the modulated wave here is single tone. So what do you mean by single tone modulation? So single tone modulation is where my modulating wave I assume to be consisting of single frequency, which is FM. Okay, so this is the first assumption that we are going to make a mathematical analysis simpler. Of course, you can extend to any kind of modulating wave if you can understand this flow. And we're going to deviate, or we are going to consider two types of FM modulation to find out the bandwidth. One is that we're going to consider is narrow band FM, and another is of course the counterpart of it, which is wideband FM. Okay, so in case of narrow band FM, we assume that the modulating frequency is of a very less of bandwidth. In case of wideband FM, as a counterpart, it will occupy a much more bandwidth. Of course, we can extend this theory to multitone modulating wave as well, where if the information signal consists of multiple frequencies, of course we can consider such cases as well, but we'll take at the end of this discussion about how multi-tone modulating wave will affect the bandwidth of FM wave. So single tone will itself will be a little tricky to analyze. First we'll take this case. Okay. As we had assumed that we are going to consider a single tone modulating wave, we will take the mathematical analysis for a single tone modulating wave. So for a single tone modulating wave, we will consider m of t as a sinusoidal wave, and of course it is mathematically which can be defined as am cos 2 pi fm t. Okay, so this is a single tone modulating wave with which we'll start the analysis of spectrum of FM waves. So we know that the instantaneous frequency of the resulting FM wave, the instantaneous frequency that we have seen as an expression in the previous sessions, which is given as Fi as Fc, which is the unmodulated carrier, and we are going to vary the frequency with respect to the modulating signal, which is given as Kf times m of t, where we have talked about Kf, which is a frequency sensitivity factor, which is a proportionality constant, and hence frequency, the instantaneous frequency of modulated wave varies in accordance with the message signal here. Okay, so here m of t that we have assumed as a single tone, so I can rewrite this expression as instantaneous frequency as Fc plus Kf times am times cos 2 pi fmt. Okay, so there is a product term here, so I'll take this product term and I'll try to concisely write this as Fi, which is equal to Fc plus this product I will denote it as delta f cos 2 pi fm t. Okay, of course this delta f, as I have designated this as delta f here, is Kf times am. This delta f is called as frequency deviation. So this is another important parameter in FM analysis, where delta f is called as frequency deviation. Look at the relation of delta f, Kf being the constant which is fixed at certain point. Delta f of course is proportional to am. Here you should note that the delta f, the frequency deviation, this will be used in several numerical problems as well. So delta f is proportional to am. That should be noted down very carefully here. And of course this is independent of the modulating frequency. Of course it says that it is a frequency deviation, but it is independent of any of the frequencies here. So it is just proportional to the amplitude of the modulating signal. And conceptually it can be referred as it is a deviation from the carrier frequency. So instantaneous frequency is given as Fc plus some other frequency. So delta f is a term which can be thought of a deviation from the set carrier frequency, right? So that's how you can conceptually you can think about a frequency deviation term. Okay, so we'll give some equations to all of these. So let's call this as equation 1, since we'll be using these equations all along this derivation. Okay, fine. So with that, we can continue or try to represent the modulating wave of frequency modulated wave. But in order to write the modulated wave, frequency modulated wave, we should have an information about the instantaneous angle, because my FM modulated wave, say FM modulated wave that we have written it as S of t as AC cos. In general, we have written it as theta I of t. Okay, this angle modulated wave. So we should have an information of the instantaneous angle. So for which we should write an expression for theta I of t, and we know, and I have been stressing upon the relation between instantaneous angle and the instantaneous frequency is given as 2 pi integral of Fi dt. Okay, so with that, since I have equation for instantaneous frequency, I can write this as the first term here is Fc, which is a constant. So this will be naturally 2 pi Fct plus, so next part of the integral, I can write this as delta f. And of course, integral of cos 2 pi fmt is that, you know, of course, 2 pi is the term that I missed here. So first I'll take this product 2 pi inside, then delta f, then integral of cos 2 pi fmt, which is nothing but 1 over 2 pi fm sine 2 pi fmt. Okay, so there are a few things which will get cancelled out. So I can cancel out this 2 pi and this 2 pi out. So what will I left here is this term 2 pi fct plus delta f over fm sine 2 pi fm t. Okay, so this is my instantaneous angle, and I have arrived at one more relation here, which is delta f over fm, which is the ratio between of frequency deviation with respect to the modulating frequency itself, which will concisely write it as theta I of t as 2 pi fct plus, we'll call this factor or the ratio as beta sine 2 pi fm t. Okay, so we'll call this equation number as 4. Okay, we'll be utilizing this expression once in a while. All right, so since this is the instantaneous angle, now I can write the FM modulated wave as S of t. Now the FM modulated wave, which we have represented as S of t as AC cos 2 pi fct, the entire theta I of t term now, plus beta sine 2 pi fm t. Okay, so this complete expression, which is an important expression for your for the single tone modulating frequency, will be this. All right, so we'll call this a separate equation as equation 5. Of course, I have designated a new term or the new parameter, which is beta. We'll call, we'll take this beta in a separate term here. So beta here is the ratio of frequency deviation over fm. Okay, so this important factor is known as your modulation index of fm. Okay, I think you have been introduced to a modulation index of AM wave as mu. So beta here, which is the ratio of delta F over FM, which appears to be a dimensionless quantity, but as you can see in equation number 4, beta appears as an addition of in the radians. In the sense, the first term is the radians or degrees. The second term should also be in terms of radians or degrees. So usually, so beta is measured, usually this beta is measured in radians. Okay, so beta is usually measured in radians, and of course conceptually I can still say that beta refers for the deviation in the angle, where your delta f was a deviation in the frequency. Beta, since it appears with a angle of carrier plus some other angle, so it refers for deviation in the angle itself. So beta is an important terminology which will help in analyzing in further cases. Okay, so with this expression, we have not taken anything about we have not talked about anything about narrowband FM or wideband FM at this point. We have just taken the message signal to be a single tone modulating signal which has single frequency in its spectrum, which will arrive at the modulated way of FM signal as this equation number 5. Right. So we'll take the deviation to the narrowband FM and wideband FM at this point. We'll assume that we'll take first the case 1 here with narrowband FM. You'll understand why these two deviations or two cases are required when we try to derive expression for each of them. Okay, so for narrowband FM, we of course we have assumed that FM is very, very small, in the sense the bandwidth of the message signal is very, very small. Since FM is very, very small, we expect the frequency deviation to be very, very small. So other way around, beta, the modulation index of FM, will be very, very less than 1. Of course, in very strict sense, we take this value beta lesser than or equal to 0.3. Okay, so for all these values of beta, we assume that the derivation which follows holds true for a narrowband FM. Okay, so otherwise for beta much lesser than 1, I will consider the narrowband FM. So if you consider the value of beta to be very, very small, the equation number 5 is of the form of AC cos of A, this is capital A plus angle B, right? So this appears to be of the form cos A plus cos B. So this I can say this as cos of A plus B. If I neglect the value of beta here, it will be A plus B itself. So now we know that the expansion of cos of A plus B is of course cos A cos B minus sin A sin B Okay, so with that I can rewrite this expression 5 as, so the equation 5 becomes now, for this case it will be S of t will be, I can expand this term using trigonometric relation as cos 2 pi fct times cos of beta times sine of 2 pi fmt minus sine 2 pi fct, similar term with the sine angle, into sine of beta sine 2 pi fmt. All right, so we know that now beta is very, very small when compared to 1 radian. So for beta much lesser than 1 radian, we can approximate few things in this expression now. So we know that this argument of cos, which will be very, very less than 1, and argument of sine in the second term is much, much lesser than 1. So how can we assume these angles to be? In the sense we know that if beta is very, very small, this first term here the cost term can be approximated to 1, and the second part of the second term can be approximated to the theta itself, right? So this is nothing but beta sine 2 pi fmt itself, with the known trigonometric relations where cos theta will be approximately equal to 1 and sine theta will be approximately equal to theta for very small values of theta. So with that assumption, or with that note, I can rewrite this modulated wave as AC cos 2 pi fct, this is 1 now, minus sine 2 pi fct times beta. So beta, of course, is a multiplication factor, times sine 2 pi fmt. Okay, so this is an expression for your narrow band fm. So we should note that this is the expression that we are going to consider for narrow band fm. All right. So with this, you can note that indirectly, we have also derived an expression to generate a narrowband FM. So we can use this expression, the mathematical expression, to generate a frequency modulated wave. So indirectly, we have talked about generation of FM wave as well. So how can we generate this? How can we, given modulating signal, how can we try to generate the modulating signal? So all we need to have is modulating signal, which is the modulating signal. Here it is single tone, and of course we'll have the carrier in terms of AC cos 2 pi fct. We'll try to construct S of t in a mathematical, I mean, from this expression we'll try to draw or sketch the block diagram to generate a narrowband FM signal. So of course you should have a carrier wave in terms of AC cos 2 pi fct is the carrier wave. Okay, so and also you can see carefully here, there is a term called as, I think I have missed with the AC amplitude. I think that AC amplitude is missing in this expression. Of course this is multiplied with AC. Okay, so if you carefully observe this expression, there is a term AC cos 2 pi fct and there's a term AC sin 2 pi fct as well. So I need not have two sources to generate a cos and sine. I know that these two are related, the cos and sine are related only 90-degree apart from each other. So I can have a 90-degree phase shifter, okay, a 90-degree phase shifter which will generate the sin 2 pi fct. This will generate AC sin 2 pi fct. Okay, so with this two signals, I can try to construct the complete FM, the narrowband FM signal, as this AC sin 2 pi fct has to be multiplied with sin 2 pi fmt, but of course we have message signal as cos 2 pi fmt. So we can either go with a 90-degree phase shifter, or we can also have as the frequency modulation, we have used a block called as integrator. So if I have a modulating wave, which is in terms of cos that we have considered, the single tone modulating wave, so this will produce sin 2 pi fmt. So both these signals, sin 2 pi fmt and AC sin 2 pi fct, have to be multiplied with each other to generate the second term, and hence this block is known as product modulator. Okay, you might have heard this term in your amplitude modulation. And once you got the first term and the second term, all we need to subtract each other. So in order to subtract, we'll have a summar. So which takes the first term, which is AC cos 25 CT. So this AC cos 25 CT is available right away. So this is plus, and this has to be subtracted with the signal which is coming out of product modulator, and this will give us a narrow band FM wave. Okay, so indirectly we have understood the generation of FM wave with assumption of beta to be very, very small. There are certain issues with these, although it looks very simple, but there are two major issues associated with this kind of generation. We'll not get much in detail about these two issues, but it's my job to just list down and leave at this point. Of course, I can take it offline and prove these two issues of a narrowband FM wave. One of them is the envelope of this FM wave. The envelope of this FM wave, it will contain a residual of AM, amplitude modulation. So this will have variation in its amplitude. So of course, frequency modulation, we have understood that it's a variation in only in frequency. The amplitude or the power of the modulated wave is constant, right? So the issue with this kind of generation will be seen in its envelope, which will have kind of variation very similar to your amplitude modulation. Okay. The second issue that associated with is the angle theta I of t will suffer from harmonic distortion. Okay, this will suffer from harmonic distortion. So what do you mean by harmonic distortion? This will generate more than one frequency. It will generate the frequencies which are undesired. So this is due to the fact that the product modulator, which is actually multiplier, which is implemented using a single stage amplifier. It could be MOS or it could be a BJT. If it is implemented using a single stage amplifier or multi-stage amplifier, if that stage of the amplification involves some non-linearity, say that it will not, the output in terms of linearity, we expect output y of t should be in proportional to the input x of t. But if this is not the case with the product modulator, if it produces the second or third order non-linearities, like if it doesn't produce simply alpha times x of t, if it produces certain terminologies like alpha 2 x square of t, say plus alpha 3 x cube of t, and so on. If it produces certain higher order terms of your input signal, this will lead to the harmonics at the output. So this is one of the major drawbacks of this particular generation of FM signal. The first issue is very evident in the mathematical expression of your FM signal itself, where we have seen that this is an expression for narrowband FM. Since we have begun this discussion to find out the bandwidth of FM modulated signal, that's the reason we started with frequency analysis of this. Can anybody tell me what would be the bandwidth of this signal? Can you tell me what would be the bandwidth of this signal? I hope you are all awake. Okay, it's very difficult to understand the bandwidth of the signal, but I'll try to make it as simple as possible. As you can see, if I take or if I rewrite this S of t, if I try to rewrite this S of t, in other words, say equation for narrowband FM, if I try to rewrite in terms of the trigonometric expressions, this is AC cos 2 pi fct minus of course I can write this cos into sine term. So this is the product of two trigonometric functions, which is sine into sine. We know that sine a into sine b, which can be written as half of cos a plus b minus cos a minus b. I'm just going to use that particular relation of trigonometry, which can be written as now as is minus, since there is a minus, and the expansion of sine a into sine b is minus, so minus into minus will become positive. So this will be half times beta AC is a multiplication factor. So this is a common term, and this is sine, sorry, this is cos a plus b, this is cos a plus b. So a plus b here of course is 2 pi there, so 2 pi fc plus fm times t. So this is the first term, minus cos 2 pi fc minus fm t. All right, so this is cos a plus b minus cos a minus b, or the minus sign I have taken out, or otherwise it is cos a minus b minus cos a plus b. I've just taken minus term out and I have rewritten this expression. So this will also serve as one of the important observation to find out the bandwidth of the FM signal. Now can anybody tell me what would be the bandwidth of the FM signal? So this is,
so will it be 2 times FM?
Exactly, in a sense. So what are the, I mean, if I take Fourier transform of this, what are the frequency components that you would find if I take Fourier transform of this? Okay, so the frequency components for this signal, if this is a center, so I'll have a frequency component at FC. So of course, with an amplitude of AC, I will have a frequency component here, and just expand the scale. And the frequency component of the second and third term will be, of course, FC plus FM, and somewhere in symmetric to that will be FC minus FM. Can you see the similarity of this frequency plot with respect to your amplitude signal, amplitude modulated signal, which was very similar to this, because amplitude modulated signal itself comes with very similar mathematical expression of narrowband FM signal. As you can write the AM signal as SAMT, just to differentiate with respect to the previous one. This can be written as AC cos, of course this is an approximation. Remember, this is an approximate expression of narrowband FM because we approximated beta to be much lesser than 1. Okay, so for AM signal, it also follows a similar mathematical expression. So only the difference which you will note after I write, so mu is the modulation index of the AM signal. So it's very similar to the expression, which is cos 2 pi. If you check back the previous knowledge about FM, you will find the modulating signal of FM, sorry, modulated signal of FM will look something like this. Okay, so which is very similar to my FM signal. So what I have achieved? I have achieved nothing. I have not increased the bandwidth. Probably it depends on the frequency, sensitivity, or the modulation index of the FM wave. That's all is the difference between FM and AM? Of course not. So the term here plus and minus will have the difference between AM and FM in a mathematical way. Okay, so how these components, the upper sideband and the lower sideband, will interact with each other to generate FM and AM is the difference between these two signals. Of course, we have assumed beta to be very, very small. So that's why we are getting this approximation or the comparison with respect to EM wave. Otherwise, if you take an arbitrary value of beta, then we will have a different, completely different terminologies to play for. Okay, any doubt at this point before I move towards any arbitrary value of beta, and hence we will jump onto the wideband effect. Okay, so if there are no questions, then I will move towards the wideband effect. Okay, the case 2 here, that as we have taken as case 1 there. So the case 2 here is with respect to the wideband effect. Of course, this is single tone modulating signal itself, but here we will be considering an arbitrary value for beta. Okay, so we are not assuming, or we are not putting any constraint on beta. So our starting point to find out the frequency spectrum in any general case would be the expression that we have seen just in a previous part, where the equation number 5 is a generic expression which doesn't involve any approximation. We have started deviation from this point by considering the value of beta to be much lesser than 1, right? So our starting point for wideband FM would be still this be equation number 5 itself, and try to expand this mathematically to find out the frequency content in the generic modulated FM modulated signal. Okay, so I'll take that expression again. So S of t, which is my FM modulated signal here, is AC cos 2 pi FCT plus beta being the FM modulation index sine 2 pi FM t. Okay, if this is the modulated signal of FM, beta, of course, that we know as ratio of frequency deviation over modulating frequency, we can rewrite this expression S of t as we know, this cos theta can be written as a real part of, otherwise I can write to be more specific. We know that e power j theta using Euler's identity is j sine theta, and cos theta being the real part of it. So this complete cos angle, the theta angle, which is inside the parenthesis, can be taken as a real part of e power j theta, because it's very crisp, easy to understand. So this is real part of AC exponential. So of course this is j times 2 pi FCT plus beta times sine 2 pi FMT. Okay, so this can be alternatively written in this fashion. This is written in most of your communication courses, or in any signal processing courses. We'll be converting cos and sine into its exponential form, or in particular as complex exponential, because we know that multiplication of any two terms, like say cos into cos or cos into sine or any other combinations of those, will have to be splitted with using trigonometric identities. But if you try to express in complex exponential form, multiplication of exponential, you know that they'll just add in their exponents. Okay, so with just ease of mathematics, we'll try to take the cos or sine term as a real or imaginary part and try to use the Euler's identity. Okay, that's all is the purpose of representing in this fashion. So this is real part, which I can rewrite this as AC times. So this is a one term, which is e power j beta sine 2 pi FMT. So this is one term into e power j 2 pi FCT is another exponent here. So there are two exponents here. So I've split it just to say that this, the first term, AC times J beta times sine 2 by FMT. So this is nothing but, this is complex baseband signal. So what do you mean by baseband signal? Anybody has an answer to that? What do you mean by baseband signal? Baseband signal is that signal which is generated at the base station. Base station in a generation in the sense as the user perspective. So user generates the message signals which is denoted as FM as its message frequency. Okay, and hence it is known as a baseband signal. Since it is exponential of complex term, it is called as complex baseband signal of FM signal, which is usually denoted as SB of T. Okay, so this is a term that which involves the beta term as well. Okay, so the trick here at this point is that if you try to find out the spectrum of this complex baseband signal, all is left with us is multiplication with e power j2 pi fct. So what is the equivalent of frequency domain representation of multiplication of e power j2 pi fct? Can anybody tell? My question here is, if I try to find out the frequency spectrum of my baseband signal, it is the all in all the frequency spectrum of my FM modulated signal is nothing but the frequency shifted version of FC. In the sense is if SB of T has a frequency spectrum of XB of F, and if I call or if I say S of T, it's a modulated signal whose frequency transformation is S of F, which is nothing but what will be this frequency spectrum in terms of XB of F? Any answers? SB of F will be simply with the property of your signal systems that you have studied in your earlier semester, which is simply frequency shifting version of this. So e power j2 pi fct multiplication will simply shift the bandwidth or the frequency spectrum of your baseband signal. So all the trick lies here is to find out the frequency spectrum of this baseband signal, which will give indirectly the frequency domain representation of the modulated wave. Okay. So this is not the simple expression because there is a term beta involved here. So this doesn't have a single frequency. So beta will have its own importance in determining the spectrum of the baseband signal, which is the part of discussion for wideband FM or for any arbitrary value of FM signal or any arbitrary value of beta here. Okay, so any question at this point? Okay, so if it is called as baseband, if the message signal, if it is called as baseband, the signal which is transferred into the high frequency, because we assume that the FC is the carrier which will have very high frequency, the transformed signal is actually called as a pass band signal. Okay, so these are the two terminologies that you should remember in your complete communication in a system. This will be, these terms are used throughout the course in this semester and semesters to follow. Okay, so this is a passband signal, which is a signal which is modulated and which is passed through the channel. This is a signal which is generated at the base or from the user, which is called as baseband signal. Okay, so with that perspective, I can find out the frequency domain representation of SB of T, and then find out the frequency domain representation of passband signal to find out the bandwidth of the FM signal in general. To proceed further, you can note that here SB of T, the signal which is compactly written as AC times e power j beta sine 2 pi FMT, which is a periodic signal because it involves a term of sine 2 pi fmt. Okay, it's a periodic signal with period say t as integer multiples of 1 by fm. Correct. So the period of this function sb of t is the integral multiple of 1 by fm. Of course, we take a simplest fundamental for k being 1. This is a fundamental frequency or the fundamental period. Okay, so we'll assume the value of k to be 1 to consider for the fundamental period. So if you know sb of t is a periodic signal, then I can express this sb of t using Fourier series. Okay, so the Fourier series of sb of t. What is the necessary of expressing sb of t in Fourier series? Can anybody tell?
To apply the frequency shifting property.
Yes.
To apply frequency shifting in the above.
Apply the frequency shifting, but before that we should know. Okay, so before applying frequency shifting, we should know what is the frequency content in this signal. And Fourier series, as you know, will give you the frequency content in any of the time varying signal. So this is one of the important contribution of the Fourier himself. Right, so this will give an idea about what are the frequency components that exist in SB of t, from which you can find out the XB of f. Then, of course, using shifting property, you can find out the spectrum of passband signal. Okay, that's one of the basic reason expressing SB of t in using Fourier series. Since it's a periodic signal, I can apply the Fourier series, which is SB of t, Cn being the coefficient. And of course, we know the expression for the Fourier series. Sorry, so J2 pi. This is n is a variable here, and fmt, where fm is a fundamental frequency here, and Cn is a coefficient, which you know that this is 1 over t, which is a period 0 to t over 1 period SB of t times e power minus j2 pi n fmt. Okay, this from your basic Fourier series analysis. So we'll try to find out this coefficient, then substitute back into the expression there. So 1 over t integral 0 to t. So SB of t that we know from this expression, AC e power j beta sine 2 pi fmt times exponential minus j2 pi n fmt dt. Okay, so with that, I know that exponential are the multiplications here. I mean, e power j beta sine 2 pi fmt and e power minus j2 pi n fmt. I can rewrite this product of two exponents as AC times this. I can write this as, I can take j outside, j is common. So what I left here is beta sine 2 pi fmt minus 2 pi n fmt dt. Okay, so with that, I can still further try to simplify, but this looks a little complex for the integration. So we'll use a dummy variable. We'll use a method of substitution. So let's substitute this 2 pi fmt as some dummy variable, say x. So with that changing of the variable to x, what will dt be? So this will give us dt as dx over 2 pi fm And what will be the limits? Limits t for t is equal to 0, x will be of course 0. And for t is equal to t, what is x? What will be x? Anyone?
2 pi fmt.
2 pi fm capital T, but we have assumed t to be 1 over fm for k is equal to 1, correct? So we have assumed small t to be, capital T to be the period, which is 1 over fm. So product of them would be simply 1. So x will be simply 2 pi. Okay, so therefore, the coefficient, the Fourier coefficients at this point give you 1 over t. Now I'm changing the variable to x here. So this will be 0 to 2 pi AC and j. So complete 2 pi fmt is here x. So this will be sin x. And there is 2 pi fmt here as well. This will be minus nx. Of course, dt has become dx over 2 pi fm. Okay, so with that, it comes to the crisp or the concise form of Cn. I can write this as Cn as, now AC, let be there 1 over t integral 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so 2 pi I can take the outside. Okay, and this 1 over t. Okay, 1 over t will not exist here. Okay, sorry, 1 over t here. Okay, t times fm. So if I take 2 pi fm outside the integral, which is a constant, again t times fm is 1. So what will be left here? Simply 2 pi. Okay, at the multiplier of this integral, which is AC times e power j beta sin x minus nx dx is the term which will be left out. So this particular expression of Cn is an important part, where usually mathematically we take or consider a term involved here, which is 1 over 2 pi integral 0 to 2 pi. We usually call this exponential j times beta sin x minus nx is a very generic term, and we call this term as capital Jn beta. This is known as nth order Bessel function. Have been introduced with Bessel function in your engineering mathematics?
No, sir.
You should have been. Okay. So this is concisely, this expression is written as Jn of beta, because this involves all generic terms where beta is simply a parameter here. X is the variable, beta is a constant. In our case, this is a modulation, FM modulation index, but in general, this is written in this fashion. So with that concise expression of Cn, now I can write, or I can rewrite this Cn as simply as complete term became a Jn of beta. So what will be Cn? It will be simply AC, which is left out here, times Jn beta. Okay, so with that, what we have achieved, we have begun all this to find out the Fourier series expansion of my baseband signal, so which was SB of t summation n minus infinity to infinity, and Cn was the Fourier coefficient with e power j 2 pi n fmt. So now I can take that Cn, which we have arrived at. Now I can rewrite this Fourier series as SB of t, which is equal to summation n running from minus infinity to plus infinity. The Cn has become simply AC times Jn of beta now times e power j2 pi n fm t. Okay, so this is actually my complex baseband signal representation. What will be s of t? Since I know s of t and sb of t related in with only a multiplication of e power j2 pi fct term, so which is in time domain, these are all related as what? We have taken this as s of t as real part of sb of t into e power j2 pi fct. So all need to rewrite this expression as s of t as real part of, I'll add that one step to make things clear, j2 pi fct. So what will be this expression now? This expression will become s of t, which is real part of the product of these two, which is summation and running from minus infinity to infinity AC Jn of beta e power j2 pi n fmt times e power j2 pi fct. Okay, so again there are multiplication of two exponentials here, so I can rewrite this expression as and I'll take the real part also to the inside. So we know that e power x into e power y is e power x plus y, e power j into x plus y, and real part of that will give you simply the cos term. So taking the real part also inside the flower braces, you'll get this as AC j and beta as simply as cos 2 pi is common. First term is fc and next term is nfmt. Okay, so this is the final expression which is required for us to find out the frequency spectrum of any signal, any FM modulated signal with arbitrary value of beta. Of course, this comes with the conclusion of today's session. I will not get much deeper into the analysis, which I'll take in the next session, where we need to find out the nature of this Bessel function as well, which is called as Jacobian. So this also needs to be understood in a little detailed way if you have not come across this particular function. What do you think at this point would be the bandwidth of FM modulated signal for arbitrary value of beta? You see that n is running from minus infinity to infinity. The Fourier transform of let us this be any amplitude multiplied with cos term. We know that the Fourier transform of any cos argument will give you the frequency representation which is in the argument itself, right? So this will give you delta functions at fc plus fm, fc plus 2fm, fc plus 3fm, or fc minus fm, fc minus 2fm as n runs from minus infinity to plus infinity. So it appears that frequency modulated signal will have infinite number of components which is difficult to find out. I mean, which will give us a difficult situation to find out the bandwidth, precise bandwidth of the FM signal. When it runs from several values, the infinite number of values, how can you define a constant value of a bandwidth of a signal? Okay, so this arrives at the conclusion point of this session. I'll revisit this in the next class so that it will be easy for the connection to the next class.